No
Hey guys.
eating.
Okay. I'm sure you all can remember the best part about your elementary school days was lunchtime. Sitting with all your friends, all excited, and starving from the morning's work. You begin to take apart your lunch that your mom packed you piece by piece. You have some apples, you have some carrots, some potato chips, and if you're lucky, a cosmic brownie. And then you have this soggy thing in a plastic baggie. The attempted PB&J was soggy, the jam was soaking through the bread, and the crust was still on the bread. You remember that you have told your mother a million times, don't put crust on my bread. Today, I'm going to teach you something that will broaden your skill set. How to make the perfect PB&J sandwich. It will remind you of home, taste great, and leave you completely full and satisfied. So the first thing I'm going to teach you how to make a sandwich through the course of 4 steps. The bread, the peanut butter, the jelly, and the crust. That's 4. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to pick up the bread, and I'm going to tell you guys about how to choose your bread. So the bread that I've chosen has been toasted already, and the brick of your sandwich, and the first and most important step to beginning this process is to choose your bread. Because I am a health nut, I recommend looking for breads that have high fiber and low carbs. WebMD says, look for phrases that have the first ingredient to include whole wheat flour. And when comparing your bread, look carefully at the serving size on the label. Some bread slices are much larger than others. The best combination, a large slice but low calories, just like my Ezekiel bread I have here. Feel around and find a soft, but this bread is still tough and sturdy, so the jelly and the peanut butter won't soak through. You don't want it to sink through the bread and make it all soggy. The mortar and the cement for your sandwich will be your peanut butter. So in here, I have my peanut butter powder, and I will go into why I chose peanut butter powder. There are many different types of peanut butter. The more natural and the less sugar it has, the more likely how it'll be oilier. Another alternative to peanut butter spread is peanut butter powder. I prefer this spread the most because it's the most amount of peanut butter to lowest calorie ratio. The peanut butter spread has 85% less fat and calories than the average nut butter spread. So to make your peanut butter spread, you're going to combine 2 tablespoons of peanut butter powder and 1 tablespoon of water. Water. Go. Thank you. And I have my measuring cup right here. I'm going to mix this up, and you're going to put approximately, because you have 1 serving size, which is 2 tablespoons, you're going to put about half on each piece of bread. And you're going to want to cover the bread completely from each side, so that you can cover the whole entire piece. And when you're using a regular nut spread that's not powder, use the same serving size, 2 tablespoons. And when you're doing that, you're also going to have about 1 tablespoon of peanut butter per bread slice. So I'm just spreading it here. It's brown in color because I'm using a chocolate flavored peanut butter powder that I actually bought on Amazon. And so here's our peanut butter spread, and it's really, really good. Okay, so spread the thick peanut butter amongst your bread, and now you have one of my favorite steps is adding the jelly. So it kind of gives the sandwich a little bit of a sweetness to it. So here's the jelly I have. It's strawberry jelly. And so because there are hundreds of fruits in the world, there are hundreds of different types of jelly. Pick one that suits you best. Strawberry if you like more sweet, but raspberry if you like a little bit more tart or tang. I usually choose jellies with limited ingredients, preferably low in sugar as well. The less added sugar, the better. So when spreading your jelly, you're going to want it to go throughout the whole surface of the bread, because you don't want to bite into your sandwich and have a dry part, take a bite without that jelly. So put on a nice load of jelly. So let me get a little, whoopsies. And you're going to want to spread it all amongst the bread. And when you hit that first bite when you're eating your sandwich, you're going to want to have the cool fruit flavored of the jelly. Because what's the worst? The worst thing ever is when you bite into your sandwich and you have a piece of bread with just peanut butter on it. So here's the peanut butter and the jelly. And finally, the cherry on top. We have to cut off the crust. I understand a lot of young children. I know when I was young, my parents would cut the crust off for me. So you're going to put your sandwich together. And to cut the crust off, safety first. Be careful when you're using a knife because they can be sharp. But I here have a plastic knife, so we're all okay. So we're going to cut all the crust off the sandwich. And you're going to want to cut the crust as close as you can to the bread. So you're going to want to take off as little of the actual bread, but as much of the crust as you can. Oopsies. This bread is very tough. So here's that. This is very tough bread. And then, so you're cutting off as much as you can of the crust, but as little of the actual bread as you can. And so that is the finished product. And so the last and ultimately final step, you have to cut the bread in half. So I will cut my sandwich in half. And now I have my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So to conclude this lesson today, guys, which is really good, I want to thank you all for listening. Making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich can be really easy. However, there's actually a lot of steps to take to make the perfect peanut butter and jelly sandwich. There's a lot of factors that go into it, but to make the best sandwich, you gotta use the best jelly, powdered peanut butter, and soft bread. And obviously, you have to cut the crust. And if you do these steps, I promise you, you will make the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Nice.